Good afternoon, all of you. The meeting will be started soon as members of this LISP are going to join.
Yeah, hello, I am here.
Thank you, sir. Sir, is my audio and video are okay, sir?
Okay, perfectly okay.
Thank you, sir. Respected Principal Dr. V.D. Ramareddy garu and respected members of Lendi Innovation Startup Policy LISP, Professor M. Jaidev, sir, Indian Institute of Management, Bangalore, IIMB, Mr. B. Ramakrishna, sir, Scientist G, Armored Design and Development Group, Defense Metallurgical Research Laboratory, Mr. M. Kalebu, sir, Consultant, MSME Technology Center, alumni, head of the departments, vice principals, faculty, and students. Good afternoon to all of you. This is the second meeting for framing the Lindy Innovation and Startup Policy for students and faculty. I say thank to all the members, faculty members, HODs, alumni for giving good suggestions in the first meeting. Now, in this second meeting, the main agenda is to discuss on short-term plans, long-term plans, and key performance indicators. This is the agenda for this meeting. I request all the members who are attending this this second meeting. After finishing my small presentation on this topic, I request all the members to give us suggestions. The main agenda of this second meeting is that short-term and long-term plans and key performance indicators. While we are framing this Lindy Innovation and Startup Policy, what are the short-term plans? What are the goals that we are going to achieve in short term? Might be in 3 years duration. And what are the long-term plans? So in long term, for example, in 5 years, in the next coming 5 years, what we need to achieve? What are the main goals? And after defining these short-term and long-term plans in this LISP, next we need to define key performance indicators also. So that means what is the indicator? Such that which measure or efficiency of the or performance of the organization while running these startups or innovation and incubation centers. Now coming to the short-term plans, here I have identified some short-term plans. After finishing these short-term plans, long-term plans, and key performance indicators, I request all of you to give us suggestions regarding this, any modifications regarding this. First, coming to these short-term plans, first we need to establish innovation, pre-incubation, incubation, and startup facilities on the campus. So this is the primary requirement for carrying the what are the activities with respect to the incubation and incubation innovation center or entrepreneur development center. First of all, the organization has to establish innovation, pre-incubation, incubation, and startup facilities on the campus. The next short-term goal is that at least we need to conduct, the organization has to conduct 2 training programs. Here I say 2, the number 2, You can modify this number to any other number. This is just discussing forum only. So here I feel that 2 is sufficient. I require suggestions regarding this number also. The organization is supposed to conduct 2 training programs or faculty development programs, entrepreneurship development programs, or workshops, lectures, seminars, GTAC, etc. per year, per academic year for skill and competency development. See, in engineering college, when a student is having an idea, but he may be lacking in technical knowledge. He doesn't know how to implement that idea by using different technical knowledge. So to incorporate technical skills into the students, to improve the technical knowledge of the students, so that organization is supposed to conduct training programs on different uh, technical topics, or the faculty development programs or internship development programs or workshops. So this is the short-term plan. Next, the organization is supposed to organize 2 competition events. So once a student is trained in a particular program, once a student is having a technical knowledge, by giving the technical training programs to the students or faculty or staff, then that organization is supposed to conduct at least 2 competition events like a campus hackathon, boot camp, etc. per year. So we are supposed to conduct competitions among the students to measure their technical knowledge. Next, the organization is supposed to encourage the students to complete the entrepreneurship education through MOOC, classroom, or experimental learning program, whatever it may be. Massive online open course, that is NPTEL, the students are encouraged to do the entrepreneurship courses through MOOCs or by classroom or experimental learning programs, etc. So we need to encourage the students. Next, at the same time, the organization is supposed to encourage the students, faculty, and staff to access the infrastructure and facilities of IISc. Once the infrastructure and facilities are there in IISc, how far the students are utilizing that infrastructure and facilities, how far the faculty and staff are utilizing, that is also very important. So we continuously or regularly, we need to encourage the students, faculty, and staff to utilize the infrastructure and facilities of IISc. Next, we need to encourage the students, faculty, and staff such that the students' projects turns into commercialization innovations. In the final year, the students may be completed some projects. The third year students might be completed micro level projects, whatever may be that project it is maybe. The organization is the responsible for such that that projects are to be converted into the commercialization innovations. If for example, one team is to be elected, that the job of the team is to test what are the innovative projects out of all the projects, and that selected projects may be selected, some projects may be selected, then the selected project students are encouraged to do convert that projects into commercialization innovations. So these are the short-term plans. With these short-term plans, that organization has to start that LISP policy. Next, encourage the students, faculty, and staff to publish their research studies on entrepreneurship. Of course, the maximum engineering students have published their projects. That projects are generally related to the technical field. And at the same time, we need to encourage the students whether that student is a third student or second student or final student, whatever it may be. And faculty, that faculty may be related to the entrepreneurship or may not be related to the entrepreneurship. For example, that faculty may be related to the computer science engineering or electronics and communication engineering or electrical engineering, whatever may be the field. So we need to encourage the students, faculty and staff to publish some research studies on the entrepreneurship also. And encourage the students, faculty and staff to complete some educational skills certification programs on entrepreneurship, IPR and innovation. So these are the short-term goals or short-term plans. Now we come to the long-term plans. Long-term plans, we need to develop a critical mass of motivated students and faculties with entrepreneurial orientation and skill. So we are supposed to create an environment. We need to create an atmosphere such that the maximum students and faculties are having some knowledge on entrepreneurial orientation and skills. Such that at least 50% student and faculty, half of the people in the campus, the people includes students, faculty and staff. 50% of students and faculty mass with entrepreneurship orientation. At least 50% people should have a knowledge on entrepreneurship, and they are supposed to travel in that direction. They are supposed to do some work related to the entrepreneurship like that. And 5% of graduate students will choose entrepreneurship as a career. Generally, the maximum students after finishing their graduation, they are seeking for a job, or software job, whatever it may be. They are depending upon some other employers. So instead of that, at least 5% graduate students will start an enterprises or company or industry, so that they have to choose entrepreneurship as a career. This is also our long-term target. If it is okay, you please give us suggestions. At least the startups have to be established, that number at least 5. 5 startups have to be established within 5 years. Now coming to the long-term goals, we need to establish the network with connecting multiple stakeholders and ecosystem enablers. So we have so many ecosystem enablers which are available, and we have to connect among these stakeholders and ecosystem enablers, and we need to create societal, ethical, and technological entrepreneurs through National Innovation Startup Policy. So we need to create a societal, ethical, and technical entrepreneurs. We need to create by giving so many technical programs or entrepreneurship related programs, such that finally the students, faculty, or staff are converted into change it to the entrepreneurs with the societal and ethical and technical values, and increase the technical employment rate through self-employment by startups. So instead of depending on the companies which are listed at the campus, and the students are seeking the jobs on that software companies, instead of that, we need to increase the technical employment rate through self-employment by startups. These are the long-term plans. Now, coming to the key performance indicators. What is the key performance? So, okay, once we have short-term plans and long-term plans, by having these short-term plans and long-term plans, and we have discussed in the first meeting also, what are the different domains, in which way we have to work out, so that all these are okay. Once the policy is framed and the organization is working in that direction. So every semester or every year, some measurement should be there. We need to check the quality of that policy, how it is performed in the organization level. A performance indicator, a key performance indicator is a type of performance measurement. We need to measure the performance of that organization. So how do we measure the performance of that organization while running all these activities? That key KPIs, key performance indicators, evaluate the success of an organization or of a particular activity in which engages. So here we have identified some key performance indicators. By using these indicators, we can measure the quality of the organization on innovation and startup incubation activities. What are the number of training programs? The number of training programs are faculty development programs, are entrepreneurship development programs, are workshop, lectures, or seminars, e-talk, etc. per year for skill and competency development. So, but generally, in short-term plans, we have discussed that the organization is supposed to conduct at least 2 training programs or faculty development programs or EDPs or workshops to enhance the technical knowledge of the students and faculty. So, how many programs, how many such programs have been conducted by the organization? That indicates the performance of the organization. Uh, Next, number of competition events like campus hackathon and boot camp, etc. per year. How many competition events are conducted by the organization? That gives us an performance indication. Similarly, number of students that have completed entrepreneurship education through MOOC or classroom or experimental learning programs, whatever it may be. Whatever may be the way or the method they have chosen, how many students have completed in entrepreneurship education. That gives us also a key performance indicators. And number of students, faculty, and staff to access the infrastructure and facilities of IISc. It is also one of the performance indicators. Suppose we can maintain a register in weekly, by week. Every week, how many students have approached the IISc cell and how many students have utilized the facilities provided by the IISc, how many faculty or staff registered for accessing the facilities of IISc. So let us maintain register, then or at least week or per month, or at least per month. For every month, how many students approaches and how many students or faculty or staff have used the facilities provided by the IISc. Next, what are the number of what is the number of students is projects turns to commercialization innovation? Suppose in every year 500 students have done projects. Out of 500 students, how many projects have been turned into the commercialization? So that also gives us performance indicators. Okay. Next, the number of research studies published on entrepreneurship. Generally, the students, faculty, and staff have published their research work on their interested topics. That topics may be related to the technical topics. So, in addition to that, how many papers have been published, particularly on entrepreneurship? That also gives us key performance indicator. The number of educational skill certification program on entrepreneurship or IPR, innovation, etc. by students, faculty, and staff. How many students or how many faculty and staff have completed certification programs, particularly on IPR or innovation or entrepreneurship? And the percentage of graduate students will choose entrepreneurship as a career. How many students after their graduation have been started their individual enterprises or companies or industries? So that percentage also gives us performance of the organization. that number of established startups. Every year, how many startups have been established? So these are the key performance indicators. So these are the topics in the second meeting. And thank you very much for giving me this chance. For framing the an innovation and startup policy at our institute. The name of that innovation and startup policy is that Lendi Innovation and Startup Policy, that is LISP. So regarding while framing this LISP, this is the second meeting. Thank you very much. Now I request Professor M.J. Dev sir, Indian Institute of Management, Bangalore, you please give us the suggestions, sir. We are very happy to take the suggestions from you, sir. Thank you, sir.
Yeah. See, the presentation is very comprehensive and so many things are mentioned in this one. Okay, I would like to say a point that here, being a new play in center it is, what should be the activity for the next 2 years?
Yes, sir.
Later on, you can go for all that long term and all that one is later on. First of all, what should be the activity for next 2 years? So you have mentioned about skill development program or competency development program.
Yes, sir.
It can be
These are the
little more
short-term plans.
focused. Huh?
Short-term plans.
See, sir, you call short term, long term, whatever it is. What I am trying to say is what should be feasible for the next 2 years.
Yes, sir.
Whether you call it as short term or long term, your choice it is.
Okay, sir.
So the point is, what should be the type of the skill development or competency development you would like to focus next 2 years? Because all types of the skills or competencies is difficult to develop. Depends upon the location, depends upon the pool of candidates available to you, and depends upon the resources you are having, what type of the skills and competencies you are going to develop for the next 2 years, so that it may encourage the people to go for entrepreneurship activity,
Okay.
right? So identify those things, focus it. When you say the second point, it is per year for skill and competency development, identify what skills or what competencies you are trying to focus in the next 2 years.
Okay, sir.
Okay, let us take, you may organize 4 workshops or 5 workshops in the next 2 years. After 2 workshops, how many people are likely to come for, take up for entrepreneurship activity? And as an incubation center, what facilities you can provide to them? How many months of incubation you can provide to those people?
Okay, sir.
Yes.
Okay, sir.
We target for next 2 years, at least 2 or 3 projects materializes. It would be a great achievement.
Definitely, sir.
Yeah. If you target for 2 or 3 things, it would be a great achievement. And also form a small core team who are capable of doing this, giving these skills or competencies. All faculty may not be comfortable, all faculty may not be interested. So better take 2 or 3 things which are you looking focusing on electrical engineering, something relating to electrical repairs? Or are you focusing on something relating to the mobile operations, or what is that? So focus on two, 3 things.
Okay.
And encourage the people. There is no need that engineering student alone should come to this one. You can encourage the other type of the students from the local area, or other type of the undergraduates or graduates or semi-graduates or whatever it is who have not completed also. What type of the entrepreneurship activity they can take? Then if they can come out with a project, suppose let us take in the next 2 years, can you listen to 5 project proposals? Only 5 next 2 years.
Next
And what are those projects? How do you nurture those things? How do you encourage the people to come up out of that from complete that project? What type of the facilities you are going to provide? Then I think after the 2 years, then you will get experience on this, what you have been doing it is, and you can review it and go on do it for the long-term period. Because having so many things on the paper is also not going to help at all. Within 2 years, you cannot write research papers on entrepreneurship and all that. It will take time, its own time. It has its own gestation period. It is not easy to do that. Okay. So
Okay.
first of all, focus on what skills or competencies you would like to develop and what type of the seminars you are trying to focus. If you are would like to conduct a hackathon and boot camp, give one single theme on hackathon. Don't go for multiple themes.
Okay.
Give one single theme where, see, after all this is depends upon your local resources available. I don't think somebody from Hyderabad will come and take up activity in your center.
Yes.
I don't think somebody from Vijayawada will come and take up activity in your center.
Okay.
You are located in a particular place, you have some advantages, some limitations. So how do you use your advantages? What type of the skills are required for those people and depends upon their ability to take up. So that focus on those things only rather than too many things, long-term plan, key performance indicator. Once you do it these 2 years, then what you have achieved at the end of that 1 year, at the end of the second year, yes, certainly that will provide the guidance for the future.
Okay, sir.
This is my view.
Thank you, sir. Thank you for giving good suggestions. We definitely follow your suggestions. So we first of all we concentrate on some short-term plans. Whatever we can achieve in next 2 years. So that we concentrate on the small things, and we try to achieve these goals. Definitely, sir. Thank you very much. Uh, Now I request B. Ramakrishna sir to give us suggestions.
Hello. Yeah, are you in a position to listen to me, Parag Garu?
Sir.
Yeah. But at the outset, I would like to congratulate you. You have given a wonderful presentation. It's really admirable sitting in a place where you have limited resources to all these kinds of environments. You're in a position to contemplate and put your things very well. I appreciate all the effort that you have put in. That's very important because you have brought out very key issues for developing a center like IISc. Being in a scientific organization for a long time and having seen so many people, so many students come and interact with us every day, at least guided at least 40 to 50 projects till date, both in undergraduate, postgraduate, and PhD students. Having varied experience with students, probably I'll be in a position to contribute something to the idea that you have generated. So I appreciate your total effort that you have put in giving this presentation.
Thank you, sir.
So first, what you have to do is FDP. You should do with the industry professionals.
Definitely.
Few industry professionals, if you can invite to the campus, not through web, because this web business will not really attract people. You can invite few selected industry professionals and keep your faculty there and try to upgrade them with the current existing trends in the industry, so that the faculty also will be in line or in tune with the industry requirements, so that faculty also will understand what skills they need to upgrade themselves. Similarly, mentorship with leading professionals from industries and scientific organizations for the students. If you are in a position to actually create some kind of mentorship, that means if you can build a database of professionals available in the industry as well as the scientific organizations, and with all the your good officers, if you are in a position to influence at least 50 people, professionals like that, and if you can link up three students of your college with these professionals, definitely the way they think about a problem, the way they try to solve a problem the maturity in the student will automatically develop. This is what I come across in my almost 30 years of service in a scientific organization. And this is also a good idea, which you're also in this thing. And encourage students to give presentations to industry professionals. Encourage students to get their innovative ideas, and just put 6 or 8 industry professionals in your panel and fix up a date and ask the students to give their ideas as presentations to these professionals, so that some good ideas out of at least 100 ideas generated, maybe 2 or 3 will be very good ideas. Those will definitely come up. And in this process, what will happen is it will enable the student to think beyond his academics and beyond his boundaries. So that will definitely actually bring a very good, for this IISc, that kind of environment only has to be built up. Because building facilities in a place like Lindy College of Engineering, so much of infrastructure is very difficult. It's only ideas which can be generated because those are free of cost. Because investing huge amounts also is very difficult for an institute like yours. So this is one of the ideas. And if possible, ask your industry relationship person will be there, no? Tie up with industries to solve their live problems. Local industries, so many local industries are there in Visakhapatnam itself. You can tie up, you can go to them, mechanical, electrical. There'll be definitely a number of problems. You just try to understand and try to address them if possible. Otherwise, come to people like us who are professionals, who have already enough experience in various fields. Maybe we'll be in a position to guide them also. It should be a route through. And institute needs to put in good amount of effort in tying up with the industries. That effort has to be put in by, and faculty needs to be motivated, because faculty, unless until faculty are motivated, they'll not be in a position to upgrade their skill sets in line with the current trends. So faculty needs to be definitely motivated by your own means. I don't know what method the institute follows. And encourage students, at least 3 in a group, to give one paper presentation in either a national seminar or an international seminar. Try to target for an international conference. If not for an international conference, let them write a paper on the national conference. So in a national conference, so that their thinking ability and their writing ability will improve. So in the process of writing a paper, they'll be actually referring number of books, and automatically they'll be refining, they'll be upgrading their skills in writing, and their knowledge also automatically improves. And they'll be going and presenting before a selected audience. They'll be posing questions. So in the process, the learning automatically upgrades. So you have to encourage students to do this. You have to make it compulsory. You should say in 4 years, at least one national conference, you should go and present a paper. So that automatically it will drive them. It will drive for the ideas. That's also very important. Okay. And KPI should include the publication capability of the students. KPI, your key performance index, should include the publication capability of the students. And you also should, am I clear?
Little bit discussed. Now it is clear, sir.
Yeah. And compulsory product development of the choice should be given as a live problem. Compulsory product development, whether he is an electrical engineer, mechanical engineer, or let him take a small problem. Like I'm a mechanical engineer. I'll just give an example of a small problem. If somebody wants to,
Okay.
hello.
Sir. Okay, sir.
Yeah, if somebody wants to do a tensile testing of aluminum rope, it is very difficult, because if you keep that aluminum rope in a UTM, the UTM jaws are made of iron. So the moment aluminum rope is put into it, the jaws will be creeping into that rope, and you'll not be getting the true tensile stress of the aluminum rope. So these kind of problems, some product development as a compulsory project, so that their thinking ability, their entrepreneurship, like once they actually find a different ways of solving a problem, naturally the confidence of the student will go up, and he'll not be really depending or looking for a company to give him a job. He himself will be actually exploring the world and try to find number of jobs for himself. That actually kicks up the entrepreneurship in the individual. And marks should be given to the students who take up a number of certification programs, like NPTEL certification programs. There are a number of certification programs that are happening. Like let them do Amazon certification, let them do some other certification. Whoever does more and more certifications, those people should be encouraged by different forms of awards, etc. Best performance award from the college, etc. If you can do that, that will definitely encourage people to take up. Similarly, along with your classrooms, if you are you have a book computer lab, you actually organize your NPTEL lectures also for students, make them compulsory to listen to them. so that whatever they learned in the class, it will be complementing by one of the most leading faculties of the country. Because NPTEL lectures are being delivered by one of the most leading faculties of the country, their understanding will automatically enhance, and that will definitely contribute for the upliftment for the engineering college as well as for the students. And as I said, I encourage students with a merit scholarship to do maximum certification programs. This is my overall the idea regarding this. With this, I conclude.
Thank you, sir. Thank you for giving us good suggestions, sir. Your suggestions are very valuable suggestions. Definitely, sir. That FDP do with faculty development programs, do with industrial professionals, you have given suggestions. That is very good, sir. Definitely, we try to conduct faculty development programs with industrial professionals and mentorship from industry also. That is also a good idea, sir. Definitely, we work towards these suggestions. And we need to tie up with the industry and solve the problems. This is very good problem, good suggestions, sir. Definitely, we approach some industries which are located near to our Vijayanagaram, and we approach them and we ask them if they face any problems, and that problems will be given to the faculty, staff, and students. If they solve that, then it creates a good environment between college and industry, sir. And one more thing is that the faculty should be motivated to make it compulsory paper presentation or doing product development. That is also very good, sir. Definitely, we develop the product compulsory product development, and marks to be given to the certification courses. It is already there, sir, in our autonomous courses. If any student has completed courses by using MOOCs or NPTEL and some courses, the credits have been given to that certification courses. This is incorporated in our syllabus, autonomous syllabus, sir. And regarding NPTEL lectures in computer labs, this facility is also available in our college. I'm happy to say that so many students in the last few years, so many students have been completed certified NPTEL courses, and we have given some slots to the students so that they come to the computer labs and sit there and listen to some NPTEL lectures. And while giving the assignments, the faculty are assigned to the particular group of students. For example, 20 students group, one faculty is assigned. That faculty is responsible for giving the suggestions for completing the assignments. While giving the assignments, that students may be discussing with the student, the faculty, concerned faculty. Definitely, sir. These two suggestions we are also already following, and remaining suggestions we definitely follow it, sir. Thank you for giving us a suggestion, sir. And now request any one of our faculty members to give us suggestions regarding these short-term and long-term plans and key performance indicators. Thank you, sir. Thank you for participating in this meeting and giving us good suggestions. We definitely follow all these suggestions and incorporate all these points while framing the Lindy Innovation Startup Policy. Thank you very much, sir. The meeting is ended. Thank you, sir.
Thank you, Prakash Garu.
Thank you. Bye.
Thank you, sir.
Wonderful job. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Stop.